My name is Edward G. Sr. When I was a kid, we lived in the ghetto on Gay Street. I used to draw on paper bags all the time because I never had any art supplies, nothing like that. Back in the day, black kid as an artist, nobody really looked at you like it was a career thing or anything that you're gonna be doing. It's just like something you did for fun. I was mistreated as a kid back in the day. Even the school board called my father, and I found out, and told him that, for him to come and get me because I was malnutrition really bad. I was in bad shape, and he ignored that. Mother and my father weren't married to each other, so I lived with my mother up to the age of, I think about 8 or 9 years old. And things started happening in my life is when my mother had the nervous breakdown through this abuse from this man that was, he would beat on her. The day that I was sitting at the table, so happened was a roach on the ceiling, and this roach decided to fall in my soup, my bowl of bean soup, and my mother took this bowl of soup away from me to throw it away, and he refused it, and they got into an argument about the bowl of soup because he wanted to just take the roach out and get the bowl of soup back to me. That's how much he liked me. So that evening, I don't know, they got into another fight or something happened, and my mother was sitting in the chair. She was rocking and she was calling my name. The next thing I know, that morning, my grandmother and my aunt and all of them, they showed up to take my mother to Crownsville at the time because she had that nervous breakdown from Willie abusing her. At the time, like I said, I didn't know my mother was a teenager. My mother was 16 years old when she had me. And I was told from my father when I got to live with him that he was ashamed of me. He would not let his drivers knew that I was his son because I was raggedy, I looked poor. Alden Street was a big street. So walk across that street, and I got to the other side where there's nothing but projects. And I used to lean up against the wall, and I used to try to catch my breath and to get some energy to get home. My parents, matter of fact, my father, he could care less about me being an artist. I saw a picture on the wall one day of a lion, 2 lions, and I decided to look at it closely, and I looked, and I saw my father's name on it, and my father's name was John White. So I said, Dad, you did that painting? He said, yeah. He said, I went to school. They told me that when I come out, I would have a job and everything. I came out, there was no job for me, and there was nothing I had to, so I ended up at Sparrows Point and stopped drawing. I ain't never seen my father draw anything. So when he saw me as an artist drawing and everything, he never really supported it. He always kept, you ain't gonna make no money as an artist, you ain't gonna do this, but you gonna be an artist, you know what I'm saying? And he would always in some way put me down, like I wasn't gonna go nowhere being an artist. During that time, that's when I don't know, I had a lot of issues with myself, that I was picked on because of my complexion. 452 is where I met Miss G. That was our high school. That's when I started to shine as an artist. I was drawing people, they wanted to be drawn on a horse, or, you had to have that skill, to be able to draw people in situations. And I loved it. I had this portfolio I had put together, some artwork and stuff like that. I had wrapped it up in this daggone heavy paper black bag, and I went to the Sun paper. I remember me and Miss G went to the Sun paper because I had found out that they were looking for an artist. But the lady wouldn't let me upstairs. She wouldn't let me show my portfolio. See, nobody at school ever talked about that. All Jordan ever told us that we just had to be sign painters. If we're gonna make any money, we're gonna make $1 doing a sign. And that's all he ever would say. I never really completely cared about doing sign painting. I was an artist. I started noticing that I couldn't see the people as well. I couldn't see their features as well. I had my first cornea transplant on my right eye. A year later, my left eye Felicia's like, she's more my daughter than my granddaughter. We see things pretty much almost the same when it comes to, to art. She likes to do basically the same things that I like to do. You know what I'm saying? She's creative. We almost one and the same. Now, mind you, I'm now here with my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and I'm going back and forth to the Inner Harbor. I had to stop doing caricatures eventually because of my eyes, but I still wanted to draw. I wanted to do something with my paint. So I came up with this idea. I saw this book, and it had scarabs on it. They would look like somebody had painted the bugs. They were not for bugs, but they looked like they were painted bugs. So I got involved with that. So I started painting. I said, well, if I draw these suckers big, saying I don't have to, be as detailed. Now I'm getting older. Time is passing. I'm still having problems with my eyes now. I got full cornea transplants. Doing caricatures and everything, doing illustrations and everything, something that I love. But also, from that point on, the house became a project. I love to paint, putting together this color, that flower works with this flower, that works good. And I step back, I look at that, I said, oh man, hey, this is all art. But I'm still a caricature artist. I like drawing the human body, the human form. I always consider myself kind of like a complicated artist. I wouldn't give that up. Art is my passion. When I draw, I feel complete.